Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Angels, Fairies, and Witches. My name is Michelle.
And my name is Laura.
We'd like to start out by thanking you all for inviting us into your home.
And we ask only that you keep an open mind with the information we want to share with you.
Furthermore, we'd like to thank Queens Public Television for this unique opportunity.
And finally, we'd like to thank Dr. Doreen Virtue, a clairvoyant psychotherapist whose numerous books we have purchased, read, and passed on to as many people as possible, and has been the basis for our spiritual growth and understanding today.
Okay, so you ready to have some fun? We're going to tell you a little bit about our program. It basically goes under the topic of psychic development, and we believe there are so many different ways to attain universal enlightenment. Obviously there's a whole bunch of actual religions, but our ways are a little unconventional. We're going to be teaching you about angels, some very interesting things you might not even know about them, how to access their help every day, all day. Fairies, and their role in the environment, enlightening your energy.
And helping you to be as joyful as possible in life.
Yep. I am going to, later on the episodes, be teaching you some witchcraft, what it really means, and some fun and helpful spells and potions that you can make with just household ingredients. You're going to tell them about your Reiki?
As a Reiki master, I'll be helping you to understand what Reiki is and how it can help you. Reiki is universal energy and how it can help you in your day-to-day life.
We'll also be talking about the use of crystals. I'll be teaching you some different divination tools. The tarot cards, for example, the pendulum, crystal ball, moon cycles.
We don't expect that your life is dramatically going to change because of the information that we give you, but we hope that it will give you a greater sense of purpose and direction in your life.
Absolutely. I think one of the first things we should cover is that throughout the time that Laura and I have been doing these lectures, people always say, well, you know, you guys can do it, but we can't. The fact of the matter is, everybody has these abilities. And I think right now we should discuss what we call the 4 primary clairs. And as you're watching, I think we're going to give you 4 different examples of how spirits, which could be angels, fairies, witches,
deceased loved ones.
Absolutely. Oh, how did I forget about that? That was a big one.
That was a big one.
All right, sorry. Yes, yes, the dearly departed. We got a lot to say about them. And trust me, they have a lot to say to you. You're all going to be able to identify with at least one of these examples. Now, why would you want to develop your psychic abilities? Well, it's not going to make your life perfect. I don't really think life is supposed to be perfect. But it will make things immensely easier. It will bring about comfort.
A greater sense of peace, a greater sense of calm.
And it's fun. It's really fun when you finally start to understand how much help you have available. So,
people just don't have any idea how much help is available to them in the universe to help with the daily stresses of life. And getting to know your angels and your spirit guides and your guardian angels, all which we'll talk about in the program, will help you on your day-to-day journey. I'm going to start with, how about I take clairvoyant, clairaudient? Okay.
All right. I'm going to start. The first primary clair is clairvoyance. That's French, at least I think it's French. It means clear sight, okay? Now, for example, I'm a medium. I can see departed spirits, and I see them very often, and I can absolutely teach you how to do it. But it's not just that. It's everything else that you would see with your physical eye. For example, if you see the same series of numbers.
Especially 3 times or more.
Yes.
If you see that repetitious sign 3 times or more, you know it's the other side trying to give you some help.
And there's a book that we like, when Laura mentioned in our opening remarks, Dr. Doreen Virtue. Anybody, well, this is Queens Public Television, so you probably live around Barnes & Noble, and she's written a ton of books. She has oracle cards. We just found that to be the easiest starting point for us. But she has a book called Angel Numbers, and it's 1 through
999.
Oh, 1 through 999. If you do start seeing the same number series over and over again, there's a ton of books on numerology. We do recommend, though, the Dr. Doreen Virtue Angel Numbers. Additionally, clairvoyance and the things that you see with your eyes are always signs. And I'm going to give you a little example. Most of my examples as we go forward have to deal with men. But there was a time I was in a relationship with this guy, which meant to say we were not really in a relationship, but I wanted to be in a relationship. And one day I was driving on, of course, the lovely Van Wyck, and I was just thinking in my head, what am I going to do? I constantly tell this guy, I'm free, I'm available, here's my phone number, and just nothing is happening. But at that point, I knew enough to call on my angels and say, okay, give me a message, help me, what am I supposed to do? And all of a sudden, as is typical on the Van Wyck, a minivan pulls in front of me and cuts me off. And I was getting all steamed until I saw on the back, where the tire is with the cover, the Tasmanian Devil, and the sign said, back off. And I thought, ooh, hadn't tried that before. Well, I gotta tell you, I pulled way back, I backed off, and girls, if he didn't come around me like gangbusters. So, these are some of the examples of clairvoyance. And as we get into all of them, the bottom line is just pay attention. Signs are all around in different forms. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.
It's not
why
just,
don't you take clairvoyance?
It's not just the visual things that you see in everyday life. It's your dreams as well, and the auras that people have around them, and apparitions from the other side. Absolutely, these are all means of clairvoyance.
All different ways. I think you should take clairsentience since that's your strongest.
Clairsentience is when you have physical or emotional feelings about something.
It means clear feeling.
Right. It means clair is clear, so clairsentience, clear feeling, and it's when you are contemplating a situation and you get that gut feeling. That is generally a clear, sentient sign that you're on the right path.
You know, it's been called other things. It's been called, like she just said, gut feeling, women's intuition. I think they call it mother's intuition as well.
Right.
But it's another example is when you meet somebody for the first time. You need to learn to listen not only to the other side, listen to your body, okay? You meet somebody for the first time and immediately you feel like, wow, I feel like I've known you forever and something about you, I just like you. And I'm sure you've all had these examples. And I'm sure you've had the opposite, where you meet somebody for the first time and you can't put your finger on it, but
it gives you great discomfort to be around them.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And same thing too, when you're walking into other people's homes, or what's another example of just
places of business?
Sure. If you have a decision to make, again, the big trick here to all of this is that when you're really asking for divine guidance, you have to get the daily crap out of your mind. Can I say crap on TV? I guess we'll say in the editing process.
I think you can. I think it's pretty inconsequential.
Yeah, it's not a curse.
No.
All right, well, fine. Clear the crap out of your mind. If you're struggling with a decision, stop thinking about the grocery list, what the kids need for school tomorrow, the bills you have to pay. Couple of deep breaths, and your body will tell you which way to go.
Yep. You just have to take time, be patient, go
pay
slowly,
attention,
and listen and pay attention to.
And what's your favorite thing to always tell people?
Breathe. Whenever you find yourself in a very stressful situation, so many people tend to hold their breath, and that just complicates the situation even more. So you have to remind yourself on a regular basis to just stop and breathe.
It's really just that simple. People have made these things overly complicated, and they needn't be. The third one I'm going to take is clairaudience. That's clear hearing. For some of you, maybe as you're drifting off to sleep, you might hear somebody calling your name. That's most likely your loved ones, could also be your angels, but it's anything else that you hear. And here's a few examples. There's a little fun game I like to play when I have a problem or a question or need some guidance, and if I'm driving. I always will put on a radio station. Now, before we go any further, we have to give a shout out to one of our favorite radio stations. It's 105.9 FM. It is classical music all the time. Sundays it's opera, which she likes better than me. It's commercial free, and it's beautiful. The songs they play, the music is so uplifting.
And just stirs your soul.
It does. It does. However, for the example I'm going to give about clairaudience, you can't really use that radio station because you need something that has words. So, I don't know, I'm a big fan of 101.1. All right, so you play a little game. Not that the heavens need this much time, but it's so you understand there's no randomness. All right, well, I was offered this this job, or I'm interested in this guy. The third song that comes on the radio, there's going to be a message in there for me. And yes, I can give another example of me and a guy. In fact, it might have been the same guy from the back off, but I'm not sure. I don't know, a song a long time ago, and it was, nah, you're not the one for me. Guess what? I chose to ignore it, and that was not the best of example. Also, you may have a problem that you're thinking about, and you may find yourself sitting in a beauty parlor or at a supermarket, and you overhear somebody else's conversations, but what they're talking about absolutely relates to your question. So again, clairaudient, listening, pay attention.
In an elevator, in a shopping center, sometimes the conversations actually apply to everything that you're thinking about at the moment, and you kind of go, whoa.
Absolutely.
I think that was meant for me.
That pivotal.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God we just got a little cloud coverage. I was starting to melt here. The final one is claircognizance, which is partly a knowing, but also the dreams.
Yeah, and inner wisdom. It's an inner wisdom. It's when you just know the decision that's come to you is right. That's clear thinking. Clear cognizance, clear knowing, clear thinking.
Well, the problem though with that too is that sometimes you're in a situation and in your gut you know what has to be done, but it's not what you want to do. Let's say you're not in a good relationship and you just know time to move on. That's them sending you this divine information. It's not really what you want to hear, but they really know best, and chances are they have something even more wonderful lined up for you.
And if you don't pay attention to the sign, they're going to give it to you again.
And again.
So you can say, oh, but I love him and I'm going after him anyway, or I really want that job, or I want to make that move. But if you can't make the wrong choice, because they're just going to
if you follow your gut.
Right, because they're just going to keep on giving you the guidance that you need anyway.
Yes. And I know I'm getting way ahead of myself because it'll be a few episodes before I get into the tarot cards. But there is a card in the major arcana. It's called the Towers. And when I do card readings, people hate when this card comes up because basically it's a picture of a tower and lightning, and the tower is cracking down the middle and some guy, I think, is falling out. People absolutely hate that card. But again, there's nothing in the tarot that's bad. But what the message here about the Tower card is, when you've built something on falsehood and lies, whether it's a relationship, whether you're lying at your job or being untruthful, the universe will at some point orchestrate a way to just, and you're done. But then, of course, with that comes a start for a new beginning. I think we should talk a little bit about karma.
Karma is...
Because that's really the basis for everything we're doing here.
Yeah, karma is something that everyone probably has experienced at one point or another and maybe not realized it was karma. Basically, we need to be as kind and loving to one another as we can on a day-to-day basis. And if we do something that's not quite so kind and loving, chances are karma's going to bite us in the back end and let us know that that was not the right thing to do. It was not the compassionate, kind, loving choice that you should have made.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, most religions are based on karma. They don't necessarily use that word, but it's the idea of what you put out is what you get back. And some religions will have you believe that whatever you put out, you get back 3 times, 9 times, 10 times. But that's pretty universal. And with that simple concept in mind, why in the world would you want to put anything bad out there?
Exactly.
Why would you want to be judgmental? Why would you want to be critical? Why would you want to be prejudiced and intolerant and rude?
It just makes your life so much simpler when you always try to take the kind and compassionate and loving path.
Now, this is not to say you need to be a doormat, okay? There is another area that we'll talk about knowing your self-worth and standing up for yourself. But yeah, if there's ever an opportunity to put any amount of kindness, you should take it. The little old lady crossing the street, or
accepting the kindness of strangers, indeed.
The cashier at the register of your grocery store, compliment her on her earrings. I can't tell you how many times I've done that, and it absolutely brightens their day. Such a simple little thing.
Yep. And if you continue to be mean and hurtful and spiteful and greedy, it's not going to make for a pleasant life for yourself. You're going to have struggles to really be happy and find what your true life purpose is.
Well, I think we all have people in our lives. I mean, we're not going to name names, but we know a few. And it's not even their fault. I guess through circumstance or whatever. And some people, let's face it, have a harder life than others. But these people who are genuinely good people at their core have become so negative that to be in their presence is downright toxic. And they don't even realize it.
Okay.
I don't know where I was going with that.
You were going with...
like karma and good energy and toxic people. Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you, well, we're going to tell you actually, not show you, a couple of little tricks. This is like having a nifty little bag of tricks up your sleeve, if I were wearing sleeves. Okay, first thing, try, and the more you practice, this will become like second nature. Try to make almost everything you do ritual. Again, slow down, take your time, breathe. Want to talk about the morning shower? See, that's why we can't show you.
Right. You know, a lot of us bathe in the morning and shower, and when we do, it's you need to really think about the energy that is produced by the water, and how not only is it cleaning you physically, but it's cleansing your aura and your spirit, and it's
you know, maybe we should explain a little bit about aura.
Sure. We'll renew it. You renew yourself each time that you step into either a shower or a lake or an ocean. The water is cleansing and renewing.
Immensely cleansing. And
so you need to stop and really think about when you're in that shower and the water's beating down upon you, how you want the water to cleanse any negative energy that you may have picked up from your job, or from when you were out shopping, or if you were at a party, and
down the drain It goes.
And you're starting a fresh day.
Absolutely. It's also a good idea if you're a nighttime shower, after you've had a whole long day involved with people or whatever. Again, the aura, I just want to say, everything is energy.
Everything. And this table.
Everything.
These cards, this camera, the sun, the air.
So you have a protective coat of energy around you. When your aura is clean and your energy is high, it's been suggested that your aura can extend out up to 3 to 4 feet.
Yep.
Here's what happens. If you don't actively practice certain rituals, yoga, I hear, is very good. I should probably try that. But I'm more of a decadent type. The cleansing morning shower, the eating healthy, the spending time out in nature, the surrounding yourself with good people. What ends up happening is that every time you encounter a negative situation, and let's face it, you probably encounter up to 20 a day on a good day.
On a good day.
It actually hits into your aura, the mean words, the ugly behavior, the injustice, the one at the work who was gossiping and got away with it and you got in trouble. And over time, it puts holes in your aura. And that's when you're more prone to illness, depression, negative thought process.
Yep. Yep. You don't have that protective layer of energy, that strong protective layer of energy. So you want to keep that layer of energy as strong as possible.
So the morning shower is an excellent one.
Excellent way to start the day. And just envision that as the water is coming down upon you, your aura just blossoms and is ready to take on the day and take on the challenges of every day.
I, for one, would never set foot outside my house without just for a second, and that's the thing. These little tricks take minutes, seconds. Nothing over 10 minutes, because I don't have the attention span for that. Without just for a moment envisioning myself in a suit of armor. You know, the medieval times, the knights, you know, I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm not describing it well.
Right.
Without envisioning myself encased in a suit of armor. That takes me throughout the day so that when we encounter different problems and situations,
it can't penetrate. It bounces off us.
How are we doing on time? We're good. Okay. Sorry, first episode. We got the first episode jitters. All right. Also, for those of you that prefer a bath, very, very simple. Again, grocery store ingredients that cost nothing. Run the water as warm as you can stand it. You know, we're not boiling lobsters here. And you add to it a handful of Dead Sea salt. It comes in coarse, it comes in fine, it comes in kosher. Dead sea salt, that's enough. Actually, in a pinch, I suppose you could use table salt.
Yeah. We've actually bottled the water from Rockaway Beach.
Oh, absolutely.
And dumped it into our bath water.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Along sometimes with some seaweed, but that's a mermaid spell that we'll get into that later.
Down the road.
So the idea when you submerge yourself into this, and please, at least for this ritual, no perfumey bubble bath, because that's all chemical and that's nice, but it's not really going to help. It's water and Dead Sea salt. Light a candle in the bathroom. You know, white is always good, but whatever you have. In a pinch, you can even use birthday candles. I know I have. And you want to, we're going to, I guess the next episode, talk about the chakras. But right here is your heart chakra, okay? You've got 7 different points of energy. You want to submerge yourself and cover the heart chakra, okay? Are you talking to us? No. Oh. Anyway, so, and you want to basically, we've been in the bathtub. Lord, not together. Not, oh my God. No, we have not been in the bathtub together. Good friends, very good friends. That's it. Not gay, not that there's anything wrong with that. But I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, so
cleansing the heart.
We're wrapping it up.
3 minutes, yes.
Okay. Basically, we She's cried in the tub. I've screamed in the tub. Put all your worries into the tub, up to the heart chakra, pop the drain, and literally let your worries go down the drain.
Absolutely.
So, according to our brilliant producer, about time to wrap up our first episode. Hope you enjoyed it.
We really hope that you found it interesting, and if you did, please feel free to give Queens Public TV a call and let them know.
And if you didn't like it, feel free to change the channel. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.